I feel like I haven't been here forever. I feel like I haven't seen and talked to you guys forever. It's been a crazy week. As you guys know, it was Super Bowl week, so some of our shows got preempted. I was covering a lot of Super Bowl festivities, so we're back though. We're back to regular programming. I'm happy to be here. I hope you guys all had an amazing Super Bowl weekend, an amazing Valentine's Day, all the things. What else do I want to say? Shout out to the live chat regulars, Patties and the Texas Ginas, all that great stuff. And shout out to my Patreon subscribers. Without you guys, these shows wouldn't be possible. Think about supporting the show. When I don't have a show, you guys, oh my God, where's the show? Where's the show? Think about supporting the show. Bottom of your screen, you can see where you can support the show, as well as there's super chat and super stickers available. Since there was no 90-day fiance before the 90 days on Monday, we didn't do a show on Monday as well. Obviously, it was Valentine's Day. But again, there's so much going on in LA still that there was still a lot going on. So, but we are covering Darcey and Stacey today. We are doing catching up with all things David and Annie tomorrow. I'm still super behind on Single Life, so I'm going to wrap that up this week, and just so that we're all caught up. So let's just get started. First, I have to say, Darcey and Stacey, hilarious. This episode, hilarious. Like, I was in tears of laughter between Florian and Georgie. I don't know. They're just bringing in all of the jokes. So episode 6, season 3, big moves and small bikinis. So everyone's go Texas Gina. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it so much. So they're getting out of what they call the clown car. And yes, it was Darcey, it was Stacey, it was Georgie, it was Florian, it was Aniko and Aspen all jumping out of this little minivan because they're meeting the team that they flew in from LA. And here's the thing, you guys, like, I don't know, have any of you guys done fashion shows? Let me know in the live chat. Let me know if you're watching the replay. But I've done a ton of fashion shows. I've planned them. I've had my own when I had my own clothing line. And I got to tell you, you don't wait to the day before to fit people. Like, that's just not how it works. So everyone, all of them still needed to be fitted. And the fashion show was the next day. Conrad and Cherry, but I think they were pronouncing Sherry, flew in with the rest of their quote unquote team. And we find out that, you know, that's how it really does work in fashion, right? So if you're actually not a designer, you're going to hire the people that to implement your vision, right? And so that's what these two do. Like, one's the sewer, patternist, all the things. And so they came in to help Darcey and Stacey do their fashion show. Now, I got a couple of things to say about this fashion show, like a couple. But one of the issues is Georgie. Georgie's not the sample size, and the sample size for male model apparently is medium. And so if he was a professional fit model, then they're saying, Conrad's saying, well, these things would fit you. But the outfits weren't fitting Georgie nor Florian, because Georgie's too muscular. And so he was like, I don't think I'm going to fit these. Like, I just don't think I'm going to fit these. So they give him a couple to try on, and they don't obviously fit. There's no time to alter. And again, with a fashion show, okay, with a fashion show, usually, this is what I have seen and what I've experienced. Usually, you're going to have all your models, they're all on like a board. Every outfit that they're going to wear is aligned with them. So they know, you know exactly what the look is supposed to be, from hair and makeup all the way down to whatever the outfit is, down to whatever the shoes are. So you can see, and you can see what order it's supposed to be. You don't all of a sudden say, hey, oh, well, see if this one fits you. See if that one fits you the day before the fashion show. I've never seen it before. And that's why they were saying, like, it seemed hectic. That would be hectic, because I cannot imagine not being organized. But, you know, Darcey and Stacey said they put a lot of work into this, all the things. Now, Georgie was hilarious. So Georgie comes out and he's like, you know, I do have a small waist. I do have a medium waist, a fit model waist, but down there is king size. And if I get too excited, it's XXXL. And he starts laughing. I died of laughter. I died of laughter. So you're telling me because down there is too big, the rest of the clothes are not going to fit you? Okay, Georgie, calm down. So apparently, Darcey and Stacey did like 20 looks for the show. Annika was feeling confident because, you know, she has the pageant history, so she has a little bit of experience under her belt. Aspen was super excited to be, you know, she's only 14, to be in her first fashion show, but she was also obviously nervous because it's nerve-wracking, right? So we talk a little bit to Conrad and Cherry, and they're like, you know, working with the twins are interesting because Stacey's more modest and Darcey's like way over the top, which is funny because that's kind of their personalities as well that we see on the show. And so they have to balance the modesty with over the top styles and bring that vision into fruition. And so Sherry was saying, you know, I'm trying to make both of them happy and both of them to get what they really want to get out of this. But Florian's not impressed. Florian's like, what the F is this? What is this? And Conrad's like, this is fashion. And he's like, just try it. Just, you know, take a look. And they wanted him to wear this like flamingo bottom. And Florian's like, I know, like, example, the shape. He's looking at it. I don't like this, understand? I don't like. I like more boxers, like, understand? I'm not looking for underwear. Stacey tries to explain to him that it's a bikini brief, and his face was not impressed. And she's like, well, in Albania, you wore these all the time. And he's like, me? Me? No, I swear to God, stop it, he says. I don't like. Y'all, I was just dying. Like, this episode was hilarious. So what's hilarious to me is that basically Florian and Georgie hate the men's collection. That's basically what they're saying. Like, they don't like what they're seeing. They don't want to wear it. And I think it hurt Darcey and Stacey's feelings because they're like, you know, both of these two are supposed to be quote unquote professional models. They've done this before. And you would think that they would just support us and wear whatever because it's our show. But meanwhile, they're like, nah, we don't like any of these. We don't want to wear any of these. And so they have to figure it out, right? So Darcey is talking to camera, and you guys know that I get distracted. And so Darcey, her teeth, you guys, oh my God, her teeth. It's like, I can't even do it. It's like if I had something in my mouth that didn't belong in my mouth, so I'm talking over them. They're like too big for her mouth. It's like so, it's very distracting. Is it comfortable? Can that be comfortable for her? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't have veneers, but if anyone has veneers, tell me, like, can that be comfortable? Because it's literally changed the whole way she talks. Anyhow, I digress. So apparently they have rushed some pieces from LA for Georgie and Florian to wear. And it's the day of the fashion show. It's hectic back there. Everyone's in hair and makeup. They're trying to get the looks together, the right models, and they want to take the company global. So this is like their big shebang. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to say that this wasn't part of the real Miami Fashion Week, but I mean, I've just never seen it like this. What I can say is that what I've seen is that when there's a fashion week, there are different fashion shows back to back, and they're all in the same area. And guests are seated like down a proper runway. And it's just, I don't know, it's just not so willy-nilly. However, I have also seen, you know how you go to Broadway and you're going to go to a Broadway show, but they also have off-Broadway shows at the same time. I've seen that where you have a fashion show. So they had their own fashion show during Fashion Week in Miami, if that makes sense. But I don't necessarily know if they entered Fashion Week, got accepted to Miami Fashion Week, and were part of Miami Fashion Week. It's hard to say because the audience was like, it was like people were just poolside. It was like, hey, I'm at this great location, probably a hotel, and they have a pool outside, and they were able to finagle, hey, we want to do a fashion show here. That's the vibe I got. But whatever. They rushed the pieces for Georgie and Florian. Hair and makeup. Aspen's super nervous. Florian doesn't want to wear the flamingo bikini bottom. So he has this black and white option, and he isn't really fond of that either. But he's like, I'm going to do it for my wife. Really, I'm going to do it for my wife. He's like, but these are just too summery, and I like more plain clothes. I'm very picky with my clothes. And I was thinking, well, if you're like a professional model, you don't really have a say in the clothes that you are given to wear. You just wear them. So I think Florian was being a little hoity because it was his wife's fashion show. Like he's like, I don't want to do that. But because he wants to be a model. And so if this was any other regular gig, he wouldn't be able to be as picky as he was being for this show. Anyways, let's talk about Florian. Or excuse me. So Florian's set. So Florian's going to be wearing these black and white little summer shorts. He's going to have no shirt on. He's all greased up. And we'll talk about him after. Then let's just talk about Georgie. There was so much going on with Georgie's outfit, y'all. Hey, Raydella. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey, Dream Big. All right. So first of all, Georgie's outfit got picked out by Darcey specifically. So just plain black swim trunks, no problem. Then, like the mesh shirts that you see in the Caribbean a lot, they blinged out half of the mesh shirt with bling. Like, bling, 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 bling. And then, not only did they bling the half of this mesh shirt, they straightened his hair. And tell me there was not a lot going on, because there was a lot going on with Georgie's outfit. And I was like, what's going on? Is this the new look? Is this part of the new men's line, or is this like a rush outfit because nothing else fit? Because I'm trying to figure out between the mesh and the sparkles, what exactly is happening here. It was fascinating. Yes, Georgie did look silly, Patty. So anyways, it was a mess as far as I'm concerned. It was a mess. Georgie's like, this outfit is and then he paused. There was a long pause. He's like, but, I'm just going to wear it to make Darcey happy. So even he knew there was a little issue with his outfit, but, he's there to support his wife. So he's going to do whatever, or his future wife. So he's going to do what he has to do to get in her good graces. Michael, the friend, shows up and he makes his entrance. He himself, I talked about it last week, that plastic chain that he wears around his neck and in pink, and he had a lot going on himself. But notice that we only saw him come in, say hi, and then we didn't see him at all for the rest of the episode. I think everyone was kind of done with him. As he's walking out, he mumbles under his breath. He's like, this dude has a bedazzled dress on, bro. You guys, that is hilarious. Because that's exactly what it was. It was like a bedazzled mini mesh dress that they were like, hey, we don't have anything else for you to wear, so let's go ahead and just pop this on you and we'll call it a top. We'll add it to our men's collection. And then my favorite, because Darcey is my favorite when she does this. Her and her sisters are talking to camera, and all of a sudden they're just words coming out, right? So they're like, feel it, empowered, we're headed to the top, higher, higher, higher. We're grateful, thankful, eye on the prize. Like just random words, not sentences, just random words. But then these random words turned into this weird, like, winner. They both had their hands up together, like, oh, we're winning. But then one of them had their eyes closed, so it was like they were praying. There was a lot going on there, you guys. But it was my favorite because, you know, Darcey and her empowering moments, like, feel it, love it, joy, power, energy, love, romance, fashion. Okay, you're just spitting words out. But if that makes you feel better, then, you know, if you love it, I love it. So the show starts, and, you know, they're coming out. It's fine. They're walking poolside, and the runway is like 2 seconds long, whatever. But did you guys notice this? Because this really caught my attention. So the flamingo bikini bottom that they originally wanted Florian to wear, they had a model wear it. But the model obviously didn't want to be part of the show because they had his whole face blurred out, y'all. I was like, is he embarrassed? He doesn't want to have international coverage. Like, hey, I was in this fashion show for Miami Fashion Week on a reality show. He's like, nah, bro. I don't sign the consent form. I don't want a part of this. I didn't know it was going to be like this. Did you guys notice that? They blurred out his face. I thought it was hilarious. So yeah, I don't think that this I know I said it before, but I don't think their show was part of Miami Fashion Week. I think it was just during the same time that Fashion Week was going on, because this was like, it wasn't like a regular fashion show. But Darcey and Stacey do say that, you know, their brand is about positive vibes, and maybe they were just doing their own thing. Who knows? So Aniko and Aspen, they were amazing. They did a great job. I loved how confident they were. I love that their outfits like were age appropriate. They owned the runway. I thought they were the best out of everyone. Then Florian comes out. Y'all, Florian's all greased up, like he was in a bucket of grease, and they just like, let me just rub it on your body. And then he had this glitter hat on, you guys, that, you know, in the 80s where they wore the hat just at the back of your head? That was the 80s, right? It had the sparkle hat, which is like the same sparkles that Florian had on his mesh shirt, or excuse me, Georgie had on his mesh shirt. It was very confusing to me. I was like, where did that hat come from? Is that part of the collection? Because yeah, no, that is not a good look at all. And then he does his little walk, and it was so on brand with his personality. Like, he walked the runway so uninterested. He's like, I am not interested in any of this. His face was like deadpan. His walk was like, ugh, I'm bored. And I loved it because that's absolutely Florian. And then, y'all, can we just talk about Georgie? Everything about Georgie. Everything about Georgie. His outfit, his hair, and when he walked out, you guys, if you were in my living room, I fell out. I literally fell out and started laughing. He walked out, and I don't know if it's because the outfit was too small, but he looked like huge, like muscular huge. And he walked out like he was a Neanderthal, like just pow, 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 as he was going down the runway. His hair, his outfit. But he's a professional. And he's like, you know, in my experience, doing runway modeling, and they show some flashback photos, you need to present the clothes and sell the clothes. Now his outfit, like the shoes and the bedazzled top, the hair, what is happening? What is happening? But it was entertaining. Like, obviously they got their point across because I can remember everything that he was wearing. from top to bottom. Like if I wanted to order the bedazzled mesh tank top, absolutely. If I wanted to get the flat ironed his hair all straight, I could have done that too. Now, Florian, I'm not the only one that thought it was crazy. Florian says that Georgie has a big foot. There's no need to go with the, and this is how he's talking. There's no need to go with the in the mountains to look for the Bigfoot, because the Bigfoot's right there, like bum, bum, bum. And then he says, help him, Jesus, Lord, help him. Darcey and Stacey, oh my God, you guys, it was so funny. Darcey and Stacey are really happy about all their hard work. Their dedication and their passion is totally paid off, they said. And then it's their turn to, close the show out. And so they're walking down the runway to their own song, Doing It Big. And you guys, I encourage you. I wanted to show you and play it for you, but anytime I play a little clip, I get flagged on my page. And it's so crazy because I know that all the other pages have like clips and stuff. And I like to make it entertaining for you guys. But anytime I pop something out, they like flag me for copyright violation. And I'm like, well, what am I copywriting violating? I'm giving my commentary on something that I saw, which is, freedom of, Freedom of Information Act, but whatever. So I just need to be more descriptive so that you guys can understand, if you haven't seen it, how crazy this outfit was. It was crazy. And I need you guys to also look up Doing It Big by Darcey and Stacey Silva and listen to that song, because they played it and that's the song they came out to. And part of the reason why I feel like this wasn't like a professional fashion show is, I don't know if you guys caught this, but the finale where the designers come out is the biggest moment of the show. And just as they're starting to walk out, an employee of the resort that they were at darts by them. And obviously she didn't want to be on camera either because they blurred out her face, but darts by them and you see it. So it wasn't even like, hey, production was like, hey, let's just stop and reshoot this one little area and one little scene because this doesn't look professional. But they did it. They just kept it in. So anyways, they come out, they start lip syncing to their own song, and then they start rapping and doing like all of this. Doing it big, doing it big. I look ridiculous, right? Well, I'm just showing you what I saw on my TV. Oh my God, this episode was wild, y'all. Anyways, they loved it. Hey, Vanessa. They loved it. They had a good time. They said, they're a feel-good brand, and they just started, lip syncing to their own song because they wanted people to feel good. So, I felt good. I was laughing my face off. So mission accomplished for sure. Next day, Darcey and Georgie are going to stay with the girls a little bit longer because Georgie wants to have some family time. And Florian and Stacey are going to head back to Connecticut. Darcey's a little worried because they're staying longer and Georgie is quote unquote going to pay for everything. And Darcey doesn't know, like, how is he paying for all this stuff? Because he ain't got no job. Right. And I have something to say about that too, but okay. He wants to do this because he feels Darcey put in so much hard work for this show that she just needs a break and she deserves a break, and he wants to spoil her. He also wants to, get to know, because this is a make or break trip for him. He wants to get to know Aniko and Aspen too. So there's that. So meanwhile, Florian and Stacey are, feeling good. They're making Florian's cooking breakfast, and Stacey has her own surprise for Florian before they hop on their plane. And here's what was hilarious, you guys, because you guys know Florian. When he said this, it was pure shade, but he said it in a way that was so loving that you could take it as if he was being a loving, supportive husband. He says that he feels so happy to walk for my wife. No, okay, wait. He said, I feel so happy to walk for my wife company. I feel proud, and never will I have the same experience which I have to my wife fashion week. End of quote. Yeah, you know that this was like some okie dokie business. If you and when you become a professional model, Florian, you will never have this experience again, is what he said. But he said it in a loving way. So before heading to the airport, Darcey, that's Darcey. That's a new hashtag. Darcey Stacey. I just did it again. Before heading to the airport, Stacey wants to show Florian something, and she contacted a broker. She wants to look at an apartment because she really feels her best. She feels alive in Miami. She wants to move to Miami and start this new life because she really just feels like she's manifested and elevated her brand. And so she wants to be right in the midst of it. And to her, that's Miami. So they go to look at a 2-bedroom, 3-bathroom plus half bath, walk-in closet, top floor to ceiling, glass, beautiful views, all the things. And Florian's like, I don't know why I'm here. Like, I don't know what reason I'm here. I don't have a clue, he says. He's like, houses in America are they're either glass or wood. Houses in Albania are more crunky. And so the crunky, the producer says, you mean concrete? He's like, yeah, crunk. Florian then goes on to say, yeah, the homes in the US are always just so extra. So he's not impressed. He thinks it's too expensive because they want $5,000, you guys, $5,000 a month. And I was like, what? Is that a mansion? Because that's someone's mortgage plus. You want $5,000 for a 2-bedroom, 3-bathroom? $5,000? No, sir. Not in a rental. No, sir. Anyways, Florian doesn't want to move right away. He's like, no, we're not doing this. I don't want to move. I need to work first. I'm waiting on my papers. He has opportunities and a network of people in Connecticut. He has a friend that's willing to get him a job as soon as he has his green card. And Stacey's like, well, I just really feel like I've manifested Miami. I've manifested this lifestyle, and I feel like we should live here. And Florian's like, no, you're rushing this. I'd rather have a plan. I'd rather have a job, and I'd rather have my papers before I come out here not knowing anyone, not having any opportunities for $5,000 a month rent. So he's like, no. So Stacey says, okay, we can wait, but she still wants to have her dream wedding there. She wants to do it at the end of the summer for 2 weeks, come back and have her dream wedding in Miami. She just really loves Miami, you guys. He's like, you serious? And she's like, yes. He's like, I swear to God and Jesus, I never heard you say this. No. And then she turns to him all calmly and says, I want to have our wedding here at the end of summer. And he says, okay, and kisses her. I was like, so much for holding on tight there, Florian. Meanwhile, Georgie and the fam bam are going to go snorkeling. Aspen's super impressed by this because she feels like he made mental notes of everything that she said that she wanted to do. Hi, Dasha. Hey, girl. Hey. Oh, thanks, Dasha. Love you, girl. Um, so they've already gone deep sea fishing, which was on her list, and now they're going snorkeling, which is on her list too. And so she's super impressed, right? She's like, oh, he's obviously paying attention to what I said that I want to do. Now, Darcey is not a big swimmer. She doesn't like open water. She has fear of deep water, depth, animals. She thinks that she's going to get bitten in the ocean. She's not about that life, which I think is interesting that her boyfriend slash fiance decided like snorkeling was the option. If your woman doesn't like deep waters, why are you choosing snorkeling? But I guess you're choosing snorkeling because this trip is really supposed to be about you bonding with the kids. And Aspen, Night, Gina, and Aspen really love snorkeling. So Georgie's like, Darcey's scared of sharks. She's not a good swimmer. Her hair is going to get wet. Her eyelashes are going to fall off, but she doesn't need to be afraid. She doesn't need to be worried. If something happens, I'm there to save her. Died of laughter. Oh, she said that. Oh, I thought you were saying, Gina, I thought you were saying goodnight to me. She's like, I am not leaving. So Georgie's like, if something happens, I'm going to be there to save her. I'm going to dive in and rescue her eyelashes. Even if the shark wants to get to her lashes, I'm going to get in and fight with the shark too. And then he's like, can you imagine? And he does this thing, flirting with his eyes. He's like, the shark's with her lashes on. You guys, you know how outrageous this whole episode was? It was just so entertaining and so outrageous. So the instructor guy is showing them how to put their snorkels on. And Darcey's concerned because, she's like, I just got a nose job. Is that going to be okay? He's like, yeah, it will be fine. And then she's like trying to get her mouthpiece in and she starts panicking. She's like, oh my God, I'm having a panic attack. I'm like, what are we panicking about? What's happening? Did I miss something? You're just trying to get the mouthpiece in and you're freaking out? Because I think, you guys, honestly, I think she just doesn't know how to swim. Right. And she was being a good sport. But I think, honestly, she just doesn't know how to swim. So she says that her and Stacey, which I thought was interesting as well, her and her sister had the same dream at the same time, that they were being chased by a shark in the ocean and that their dad had to swim out and save them. And so she feels, and this is when she was way younger. So she feels like that was like a warning sign that she shouldn't go in the ocean. She felt like maybe it was an omen. Whatever the case may be, she felt it was all of those things. And so she's scared of the ocean. Her daughters feel like, you know what? Mom just needs to live a little. She just needs to be more spontaneous and be in the moment. So they jump in, they're fine. Clearly they're swimmers. They're comfortable. They're like hanging out. They're floating. Georgie's in the water too. And they start joking that they're drowning because meanwhile, Darcey's still on the boat, freaking out, looking at the water, like, ah, like just screaming, ah, like, what are you screaming about? You're on the boat still. So like, what's wrong? Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Ah! And so they're like, Mommy, we're drowning. We're drowning. Come save us. And she's like, don't say that. Take that back. Ah! Still screaming. She jumps in. She screams bloody murder, you guys. She wasn't in that water for even 30 seconds. Not, and I'm being generous, not even 30 seconds. It took longer for her to get off the boat than for the amount of time she was actually in the water. And she starts flailing. Georgie has to scoop her up and she's back on, and she was not having it. She was not having any part of being in that water whatsoever. And I was like, this snorkeling trip, probably wasn't the best idea for Darcey. So she's back on board. She's worried about the finances. She's like, I really feel like I need to ask him because he paid for the deep sea fishing and now the snorkeling. He's paying for the extra days here. And like, I don't know how he's paying. And I am concerned. And I feel like I should talk to him about it. But she doesn't want to have tension between them. But you know, when Darcey gets something in her head, she's not gonna let it go. And she didn't. So she thanks him, but she's like, so like, how are you paying for this? Like, how much was this? And he's like, I put it on my credit card, which means, you guys, because he ain't got no job and you got to pay your credit card monthly. So it means Darcey's going to be paying that credit card. So in essence, Darcey is paid for this trip, right? You just pop it on, he just pops things on his credit card, which I also think is interesting because if you guys remember from last season when he moved out of that room, he got his car repoed and he had bad credit. So I don't like, what credit card and what's your limit if you have this bad credit and you have a repo on your credit report? Like, how does that work? Anyways, he put it on his credit card. Maybe it's a credit card that Darcey gave him. That makes more sense to me. I just figured it out in my mind. Anyhow, he put it on the card. He's like, I'm not worried because it's all about making memories and special memories. And that's what I want to do. I just want to make memories with our family. And she's like, well, you know, I can help pay, you know, because bills have to be paid. And he's like, oh, I have a plan. Now, he's back to this. Remember a couple episodes again, he said something about rose oils, and then he said something about architecture. Then he said something about real estate. And then he said something about engineering. And I was like, remember, I was confused. I was like, does he have those degrees? Because you don't just wake up and say you're going to be an engineer. You don't wake up and say you're going to be an architect. And you don't even wake up and say, hey, I'm going to be a real estate agent and go and sell houses today. You're like, you got to do some training. So I was like, we're back to the rose oils. He's going to do some rose oil, and these are his words, not mine, rose oil organic stuff. He's going to make some products. He's working with some manufacturers in Albania, and it's like just not Albania. Where is he from again? Where's Georgie from again? Someone tell me in the live chat. Anyways, from back home, he's working with some manufacturing companies, and he's going to really bring these rose oils and organic stuff to America. He really feels like it's going to be a hot market for him. Then this is the disclaimer. He says, but you know, it may take years. So what are you going to do while you're building this rose oil organics business? Bulgaria, thank you, Patrice. What are you going to do in the years that it's going to take you to create your company, to bring over these rose oil organic stuff, if you keep just putting stuff on your credit card and this is years in the making? You need an income, my friend. How is that going to happen? How are you paying bills and spending when you don't have something coming in? Doesn't make sense to me. And so when he did the little disclaimer that it's going to take years, I was like, oh no, you might have to get a 9-to-5. And why are you opposed to that? Anyways, starting a company is hard work, Darcey says, and you know, the money doesn't come right away. She says those are all facts, but she also wants to support Georgie and support his dreams of being a business owner. And I'm all about small business and starting your own business and all the things, but I also think that you have to, you know, do that in conjunction with like taking care of yourself, unless you have the luxury, which he says that he doesn't want, of having the sugar mama or a sugar daddy or whatever the case may be. Because he doesn't feel pressed. He doesn't feel pressed in my mind. Like he's like, whatever. I put it on my credit card, whatever. My company might take years, but whatever. Like he's not pressed whatsoever. So, I mean, if he's got it like that, I can't even be mad. Anyways, they're wrapping up their boat snorkeling trip. He has another surprise for them. So he sends them back to the hotel to get freshened up, change all the things, and meet back. He's going to text them an address to meet back at. Meanwhile, he's got this table, the beach, sunset view, champagne, strawberries, cheesecake, and of course the ring because he's going to re-propose to Darcey. And I was like, oh, you want to secure the bag real quick because you guys went to one therapy lesson and you talked a couple of times, and I guess things are all good now because you're in Miami. You paid for a couple of trips. Everything's good. Is it though? Is it? Or are you locking down your woman because like this is the lifestyle you want and she can afford the lifestyle she has? I don't know, you guys. On the one hand, I feel like they give Georgie a really hard time for all the things that they already knew. Like you knew this, you knew who he was, and you still accepted his proposal the first time. And if you're gonna beat up on Georgie, then you have to equally beat up on Florian because they're in the same position, really, except one has a green card and one doesn't, but they both don't work. So the women are supporting them. So it's equally like the same situation. That's the part that it gets a little like dodgy for me. Because I'm like, on the one hand, I'm like, Georgie, get a job. On the other hand, I'm like, well, why are you guys like so upset with Georgie? Because Georgie never had a job the whole time. Okay, he hasn't. Well, he was a masseuse, and he was a model before. Okay, I know the history, but I'm talking like since he's been on the show, he has not worked. All right, so next episode looks just as entertaining. We find out that Florian's getting his green card, and they're doing some American celebration. We see that Georgie is going to propose, and we're going to find out if Darcey says yes, and I know she will because it's Darcey. So that was the show. But then there's the behind the scenes that I always tell you guys to watch, which is the extras. So a couple of things that stood out to me in the extras were Annika and Aspen were just super proud of their mom and auntie. They loved their outfits. And Darcey was talking about their outfits. Remember, they were butterflies, you guys? So Darcey was talking about how Annika and Aspen were like the butterflies, but she didn't know how to say metamorphosize. So she said metamorph. And both of her daughters look at her, and Annika says, do you mean metamorphosize? And she's like, yeah. You know what I meant. And both of them were like, no, we didn't. And they both laugh at her. And I thought it was hilarious. And then Annika in the extras talks about Georgie when Georgie got his hair blown out, and she felt that he looked like Snow White and that his look was quote unquote different. That's all she wanted to say about it. And she turns to her mom and says, you have a really weird type. And if we look at Darcey's history, I don't know if she really does have a type, because if we look at Georgie, he looks nothing like Jesse, and Jesse looks nothing like Tom. They're kind of just, they're the same. I can't even say that. They're not even the same personality type. Like, so that's a question I'm going to pose to you guys. What would you say Darcey's type was? European? Because I feel like that's too general. Let me know. Let me know in the live chat if you have an idea of what you think Darcey's type is. If you're watching the replay, let me know. That's a discussion I would like to have. The last behind the scenes part is, as they were driving to all of their little excursions, they drove by University of Miami, and both Darcey's daughters want to go there. It's Annika's big dream. It's her number one school that she wants to go to. So she was excited to be driving by it. And she is both the girls are really into the sorority life, frat life. So they want to go there. They want to pledge. They want to do that whole, I'm Canadian, I don't know really how it works, but the Delta Greek, whatever stuff. They want to get into all of that stuff. Michelle says Darcey's type is unemployed. Larry says chutzpah. Y'all are hilarious in the live chat. So that was the show, you guys. That was everything. And let me tell you, I was fully and thoroughly entertained by all of the nonsense. And there was a lot of nonsense, a lot. Fun fact, you guys. So you know the outfits that Darcey and Stacey were wearing, the butterfly black and white. I think I posted it on my socials a while ago. If you guys don't remember, let me see if I can pull it up for you real quick. We're gonna play a quick game. Okay, so this outfit, these outfits. Let me see if I can find my camera. Okay, do you guys remember these outfits? That's what they wore on the finale, right? Okay, so how much do you think these outfits are at House of 11? The butterfly robes that they wore. How much do you think? How much do you think it is, or how much would you pay for it? Because these are really cute. Like, I would wear that absolutely at a resort. If I was like in Jamaica or something, or even if I was in Miami, right? Or poolside in LA, it would be super cute. How much do you think these cost? Ballpark. Those outfits. The finale, House of 11 outfits. $100, $50, 30. Michelle has all the answers. They're 450. So just say 500 rounded up. Those outfits are $500. Well, they're 450. They're 450. You guys would pay that much? Or are you guessing how much they cost? Because 500, Lori says 350. Natasha is like not playing. She said $12. Lori is saying 600. These outfits were $450. I mean, I don't know if I'm still just pandemic shocked, but everything just seems way too expensive to me right now. Groceries, you guys, don't even get me started on the cost of groceries. Don't get me started on the cost, gas. Just outrageous. So I'm just like, $450? I better be partying every single day. I better be jet setting all across the world to all the hot exotic locations, because I gotta tell you, 450 is a lot. It's a lot. Now, what I heard was, Natasha, you're not half wrong. What I heard was there's another website that shall remain nameless that had this very similar, because I looked, very similar outfit for 25. So, I mean, I don't know. I can't, I don't know if theirs is hand stitched and, the quality and all the things, but the actual like look was 25. So that's the show, y'all. But it's super cute. Don't get me wrong, super cute. But whew, we are still in a pandemic. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, you guys. And I'm happy to be back. It's been such a crazy week. Definitely, if you're not following the page, make sure you follow the page. I've started to upload some of the Super Bowl festivities from last week. And they were fun. So take a look at those videos and I'll continue to add them. And, we just got a lot of stuff coming up. So keep posted. Make sure you like and subscribe. And Patreon subscribers, I got you something a little special. All right, you guys. Bye for now. See you tomorrow. Bye, Texas Gina. You like my accent, Gina? Bye, Texas Gina. I'll practice.